If one customer controls more than 5 to 10% of your revenue, you're not running a business, you're actually working for your customer. And if you don't have recurring revenue, well, you have the chance of actually bleeding money while you sleep. Today, we're going to talk about another one of the 4 intangible capitals that you need to increase the value of your company tremendously, because 80% of your value comes from these 4 intangible capitals. And today, we're going to talk about customer capital and the importance of having a diverse customer and also a loyal customer and one that actually provides you recurring revenue. So let's get right into it right now in 3, in 2, in 1. Welcome back to the show, guys. And today we're going to talk about customer capital. It's the most underrated asset in your business. Having loyal customers, diversified customers, and recurring customers, ultimately, this is what makes your business valuable, scalable, and buyable. And quite frankly, if you get this wrong, I don't care how sexy your branding is. No smart buyer is going to touch your company if your customers aren't loyal and you're just strictly reliant on one. So let's get into it. But before we get into it, make sure that you like, that you subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because every single week, guys, we're coming up with something amazing when it comes to scaling your business into a sellable business, whether you want to sell or not. You can also follow all of my content on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. I guarantee that if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're even thinking about selling your business one day, you're going to want to watch this show and watch everything that I'm doing, because it's just tactical advice that you could use and implement today to give you the step-by-step roadmap to slowly increase the value of your business. So what I want to get into is, again, the importance of your customer, because your real asset, it isn't your office. It's not your brand. It's not really your team either, although that's very important as well. Really, your customer capital is extremely important. The quality of your customers really determines the quality of your business, period. Buyers don't care how cool your Instagram looks. They want predictable revenue spread across loyal customers. They want to make sure that your customers are going to come back time and time again. And really what they would love, if you could, and we'll get into it, is actually having some kind of subscription model where people are actually coming back on a monthly basis and really giving you like that direct deposit no matter what. So we were looking at a business at the company that was doing about $3.5 million a year. It was kind of messy. There was no SOPs, really not a lot of strong leadership, and the owner was still doing way too much. On paper, not that impressive, but 50% of their revenue was recurring, subscription-based, auto-charged, and diversified across hundreds of clients. That one factor alone took the valuation from a 3x multiple to a 4x multiple. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're looking at $3.5 million and you multiply that by 3 and then you multiply that by 4, you're looking at quite a big difference. And why is that? Because buyers know recurring revenue is basically money in the bank. If 50% of the revenue they already know is going to be coming in on a monthly basis on direct deposit, they could just continue to grow that. And that's just like money in the bank. So recurring revenue is very important. But also, I will say, a diversified customer base is very important as well. So let's get right into the strategy of it all. So there's really 4 key things that I want you to focus on when you're looking at having a good customer intangible capital. All right. So number 1 is loyalty over likes. Stop chasing new customers like Tinder dates. Build loyalty, deliver results, follow up, add value. Loyal customers spend more and refer better. One of those things that I'm going to discuss in another video is social capital, which is Google My Business reviews. Like, that's so important. So make sure that the customers are not only coming back, but they enjoy the service, they like what they're doing. Like, focus on the customer first. One thing I love about Banana Ball is every time I see the owner of Banana Ball talking, he's always talking about how every decision that is made with little Timmy in the seats. And what is he going to think when he's watching the show? Keeping your customer first is so important. So customer loyalty, number 1 of having good customer intangibles. The next thing is diversify. Diversify or die is what I like to say. If one client is more than 5 to 10% of your total revenue, you are exposed, my friend. A buyer sees risk. One thing that we always do when we take on a company, the first thing that we do is we de-risk. And as soon as I see somebody that's got 25% of one customer is the total amount of revenue, that is high risk, and that's what the buyer sees as well. We need to fix that. If you were to lose that customer, you're dead in the water. Spread the love. No single client should hold more than about 5% of your top line revenue. So make sure your customer base is diversified. Number 3, talked about it in the beginning, recurring revenue. Recurring revenue is one of the 3 value drivers. I'm not going to get into the 3 value drivers, but owner dependency and then recurring revenue is the other one. Recurring that you can sleep on. If you don't have a monthly or quarterly billing model, you're behind. What's even better? Subscriptions, memberships, retainers, whatever it is, make it stick, okay? Predictability is power. So I strongly recommend anyone having some kind of actual recurring or subscription-based model or membership, or customers are constantly coming back and basically direct depositing you into your account on a monthly basis. And anyway, the last thing is buyers want predictable. They want passive and they want protected. What does that mean? It's what makes your business transferable, right? So if you're diversified and you've got the recurring revenue, which is predictable and it's just coming in naturally, that's just going to make it transferable. That means that as soon as a buyer comes in, all those customers automatically go in it because they're already involved in it. So if a buyer sees a machine that runs with recurring revenue and doesn't collapse when one client leaves, they're going to pay top dollar for it. In my opinion, there are 4 very important intangibles, but this one right here is really, really important because recurring revenue, subscription-based, and just having predictable cash flow, it's not only an intangible capital, but it's also one of the 3 value drivers. So make sure that you get something that's, again, diversified, protected, passive, predictable. And this all boils down to your customers. And if you have this with your customers, you'll have this with your revenue. If you have this with your revenue, you have a business that can sell. All right, so real quick recap. Customer capital is one of the 4 capitals. We've got social, human, structural, and customer capital. These intangible capitals, just to tell you real quick, it's 80% of the value of your business, okay? 20% is based on the actual dollars, but these intangible capitals, okay, 80%. So customer capital, in my opinion, it's the secret sauce. Loyalty, diversification, recurring revenue. These aren't nice to haves. They are value multipliers. You fix this and everything else becomes easier. Marketing, sales, and even your exit. So to end it, I like to give you guys some homework. So what I want you to do is audit your customer bases like right now, okay? Who are your top 5 clients? What percentage of revenue do they represent? Okay, again, if it's more than 5 to 10%, you're going to have to diversify. How much of your revenue today is recurring? And let's think outside the box. If you don't have one yet, I want you to think about what you can turn into a subscription today. I've done a video about this. Get this dialed in before the next quarter. Think about how can you find a way that you can create memberships, because ultimately that creates loyalty for them to come back for more. I gave the quick example in one of the other videos that we'll hopefully leave up here, that if my AC company, I pay them $20 a month. And what that includes is basically I'm a member. And for that membership, I get 10% off whatever it is that I need to get done. Father's Day came around and guess what happened? My AC went out. Do you think that I Googled searched the AC company nearest me? No, I didn't. I called the company that I'm a member. So it creates loyalty and then also predictable cash flow. So final thing that I want to say is don't wait until you're trying to sell to build a sellable business. Don't wait. Start now. Build loyalty, diversity, go recurring, and then download the free recurring revenue playbook in the description, okay? Basically, it's just a simple playbook on how you can just start getting that recurring revenue today, build that subscription model, and just get that predictable cash flow. And let's turn your business into cash printing, acquisition-ready machine, because good exit strategy equals good business strategy. That's what we got, guys. Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you share, make sure that you binge right here on the side of any of the shows that might interest you. If you're at all interested in scaling your business, I'm telling you, building a business that you could sell is a great business to own. It's great business strategy. And the tips that I'm giving you here is not just about exiting. It's about actual good business strategy and things that you could implement today. And share this, subscribe, and follow me on social media because there's just so much content. Every single Wednesday, we got a new show. Every Monday, I got a guest here that's just going to blow your mind. Every Friday, I go live. Like I'm telling you, it's just, I'm all over social media. Too much, Travis, too much. All right, guys. Hope you like the show. We'll see you next week. Peace out.